Every Monday I have been posting consistently, so I want to also share you in every after third video. Is usually me talking and sharing, or is it a vlog or whatever it is. I try to keep that in that way because I really think that what really helps artists is also knowing what's behind it, like what do I do to keep on going. If you've been feeling stuck and struggling and alone in it and you can't finish anything, I'm also there, but I feel like I'm slowly getting better with things and slowly we're finishing stuff. But I think the most important thing is to also share the other parts of it, and I'm gonna share you my scenarios which a little bit bad for me, and also I'm gonna share you the mindset that helps me to keep on going and post every Monday and show up in here. Yeah, I have to look where the microphone is, otherwise I will turn it and it will be a bad corner. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Victoria Helen. I'm an artist. I'm trying to create my first album now. It's all about my emotion wounds that became my strength, all of my experiences, and I really wanted to make it special, to share something, to also help others who struggle even more, struggle in a similar way. And I wanted to just share my story. So now I'm trying so hard to make this a reality while learning producing. So I made so many different songs now. We do have something, but we're definitely struggling a little bit when it comes to producing, because producing is hard for me. It has been a great journey, so that's why I made this channel. So if you want to support me, please hit subscribe button and you will be my new friend. If you feel you're alone, you feel like you need a little push or you want to talk with someone, like I made a Discord group. I really hope to create an active group there where we can share our music, where we can just support mentally, mindfully each other, and really want to create this space for that. Weekly I try to add some motivational stuff as much as I can, and hopefully we will build a nice community from now. Check out Vicky's Art Collective. I want to call this first point we'll be talking about is the mental noise. It's the noise that's in our head that stops us, and when we don't do things, it stops us doing the things we actually want to do. I want to give you scenarios that have happened in my life. So let's look at my scenarios. It's really good, if you want to think for yourself, what are your scenarios, what are you doing that's stopping you to do art or whatever you want to do. Then write them down like I'm doing now, reflecting with you. I think it's always a good idea, so pick up your journal if you want that. Scenario number one that has really created friction from me to finish songs is the last song I released on my own. Made me feel so anxious because later when it was finally ready, I released it and then I listened it again. I was like, this voice is clashing over the sound. It's not that professional. So I felt really bad about it. And this was the one element that really bothered me. But because I already released the song, it's not like I gave up, but I kind of was like, it's ready, and I feel like I felt so defeated. I couldn't be happy for myself from releasing. Usually you would think like, okay, if I finish a song, I'll be so happy. But I was opposite. I was so sad. And that's not a good place to be. It definitely comes from my past, from when achieving something I felt like, okay, I still failed even when I achieved something. That's something internal I have to realize, and I have been working really hard. I also had this thing happen when I performed. I literally went inside of myself, like it was 2 years ago when I performed in Poland. I went inside of myself. I felt so anxious after performing. I was like, oh, that was so bad. This talk was in my head, this negative self-talk. And that really is what I call like the mind noise that comes in our head. It's this discouraging self that we really need to cultivate the other side of it. Maybe we can name this evil side of us that really wants bad for us. Maybe it comes from also maybe from your parents, maybe your close people like didn't believe in you, said something bad for you, and it's a voice now in your head, and it's really hard to get rid of it because it's like your mantras. It's the words you use daily. That's what mantra is. It's the words you use daily that kind of manifest in your life and come to your life as a reality at some point. So that's why I feel like the inner voice, it's a huge thing. And my words usually is like, you could have done better, you know, why did you even release it? But here's the thing, if you never release anything, I feel like you don't learn. And that's what I also realized. Like, if I want my music to be heard, if I want, I have to also accept that sometimes I need to release something that's kind of bad, and then I can find what's good. Because if I'm doing it myself, it's really hard to criticize it myself. I could send it to professionals, they go like, oh, do this better. But the thing is, like, you can always pay for someone to make it professional better, okay? But we're on budget, we're broke style producer, you can say. So that is why I also want to like share my journey, you know, because I'm kind of broke style artist, but I don't claim as a broke, okay? We're manifesting great stuff together. That's why I really want to take you along with me, so maybe we can learn together and maybe it encourages you to continue your art. And I think that voice is really huge. That's why it also has triggers, and I feel like that's the most important thing to find. What are the triggers? Scenario 2 is really associated to trigger, which is when I wake up or when I scroll, when I have a like a some little break and I have like a fatigue of choosing something. I'm gonna tell about it a little bit in a little bit. But when I scroll, the more I scroll comes my negative talk. Like, hey, look what they have. You know what I mean? Look how they're posting music all the time. Why you're not posting music, Victoria? You know what I mean? So that's what's happening with me. So I'm like, kind of like, ew, why am I thinking that way? But it's kind of natural. That's why I say it's a trigger. And it's okay to sometimes unfollow or just stop scrolling the moment you realize that. And that's the biggest thing. I have stopped scrolling for actually I've been really good at it because I'm posting also a lot, like 3 or 4 times weekly. It can get a little bit hard for me to not scroll, you know, because this thing how they do in social media, when you post something you have to sit there, I don't know, 2-3 minutes while the video is loading, and it's for purpose, and you have to be on this platform where you're downloading your video, and it makes sense. I freaking get it. I could use, actually there's this a free thing if you guys want, through Linktree. They have like some partnership of some, you can post 30 posts monthly for free, and it's like scheduled. But I did find that it didn't work sometimes, so now again the square one, which is like posting manually everything myself. So yeah, that's where I am now. But maybe I will try to it again. So let me know if you want to know what it is. I don't know it right now. What's the name? But I will figure it out if you want it, of course. What I actually wanted to say is like this self-talk is pretty normal. Comparison is a huge thing, especially I feel like that's something I need to remind myself also. And I've seen a lot of podcasts about it, and it really had made me think about it. Like actually that's true. Like when we post something, want to post something that's intentional, that actually has a purpose. So as I have intentional videos, I have a, you can call it, I have a listener who I want to tell something. So someone like myself who wants to do music and who wants to succeed in it, or at least get somewhere, or be, I don't know, get money or whatever, you know, to live with doing art or anything about that, and not live in suffering. I want also that part, because mental health is like my kind of passion, to kind of help ease the pain a little, because I've been in a rough spots and rough areas in my life, and I feel like that's kind of, I will be telling more a little bit. But yeah, that comes from there. So that's the moment I forget myself when I scroll sometimes, and I feel bad about myself. And I feel like it's so okay, it's so normal to feel it. We never had so much information, and now there's so much information, and we feel like we're the only ones in here who are old house, living in, I don't know, in poverty or whatever. We live in not that great place, you know. We don't have many opportunities, which is not necessarily true all the time, but you know what I mean, right? So these were my scenarios. I hope you can write yours down, and the whole idea is to be real with yourself, so you can just figure out what is something that stops you. For me, it's definitely the self-talk. Especially, it's been hard to go back to old songs for me because of the fact that because I feel like they're old songs because I read them when I was younger. But I kind of have to give credit to myself. Maybe now, if I learned more, I can remake them a little better and have a more confidence in it. And as I said, sometimes we have to be raw and we have to be bad at something before we become great. So that's something I keep in my mind. So these are my simple routines that ground me, or things I found myself as a really sensitive, emotional person. I have a crazy morning routine. If you know me, I've been journaling since 19 years old. And it's like, what, 6 years, 5 years, whatever, 6 years, 6 years of journaling and also meditating. I started with meditating like 1 minute a day, and then I journaled, like few questions. Everyone journals differently. That's what I want to say. Even if I can share what grounds me and helps me, that's the point I want to make, is finding something that you like and that helps you, because that's why I don't want to say like do like I do, but I feel like find something that grounds you, that helps you to feel better of yourself, because I can I can push myself more doing things if my mind and I'm tuned with my emotions also. I can also use it. We will get there. We will get the thing where we will use our sadness. Yes, yes, that's excellent. But I want to highlight before that. Then find what is for you if you don't know what is for you. I feel like my morning routines, whenever I don't do it, I see more negative talk because I'm used to that. It's like a practice, right? You cannot expect muscles if you don't work out. And I feel like that's exactly with our mind. At least that's what I think, and that's how my mind works. As a person who feels a lot, like that just kind of makes me a lot more happier. It makes me think more positive. Yes, I'm an optimist, but I'm optimist by choice, and I have really overcome myself to be more positive about everything. So yeah, I mean, I've been always hopeful, but whatever. What I'm trying to say, I've been always hard in myself. I'm still hard on myself. Like whenever I do mistakes and when my videos are still bad, I feel like okay, but I still continue going because I have like another friend in my head. You can call it like a bad friend who is like mean to you, and then there's like a good friend who is, and that you need a good friend too, and you need to consciously say those things. It sounds so ridiculous, but it's not. That's why I have affirmations or stuff in the morning I say to myself. So I used to do actually opposite side. I woke up, I said to myself, deep breath, and I said, I can do this. Today is my day. And that's it. And that's how I continued. Just 1 minute, 30 seconds, I don't know, 10 seconds. Just give yourself a little breather, a little moment to be like, I can do this. Even if you feel like, morning, Mondays, even if you feel like that, I feel like it's best to like wake up and be like, say it to yourself. Oh, like this, there's a lot of other ways you can do. You can give yourself high five, like search for you, go on a journey to find the things that are for you and just stick to them. But don't be like, I just do it once and then I'm like, you have to do it consistently. And yeah, once it's your habit, you're great, okay? I'm gonna leave this part. There's a lot of things to talk about. I definitely have covered some of the things, my routines and stuff also before, and we could go more depth if you want to know. I can feel the things and how they have grown me. Definitely, I would like to do that. I'm in a phase of changing my 2022 notebook until now, which I'm using. Oh, this is such exciting time. It's like a new era of Victoria. Definitely it is. Anyways, let's go to the next point, which is using your sadness to create. Use it as a fuel. Use it as something that's your inspiration. And I do think you're already using it. That's why you're an artist, first of all, because that's exactly what happened to me, because I was really internal person, music became my voice. It became my way of saying things because I didn't feel like heard, didn't feel like anyone heard me at all. I feel like music was something I can say, something I usually can't say. And that's why I really love creating and writing, you can name it. It is also an option. Not always the best way, can sound like you're coping through, but in reality, creativity and putting something sad or whatever emotion, you can make such great things. I want to share you this one song I did when I felt sad, and I didn't think of anything. I just left it in the computer, and my boyfriend found it and he listened it and he was like, "Oh, this is so beautiful." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I think it's your best take." I'm like, "What? What do you mean? It's my best song." He's like, "It's just that the emotionality was there because I was actually so sad." So yeah, you can listen it now. She might have taken you alone, but she felt so much. Her thoughts may take her back to a place where they were not fine. How do you take this feeling and just smile? How do I fake this world that where I'm divided? Another way how I like to use my sadness is that I paint. I take a lot of ton of creative projects in my head. I like to do so many creative projects. You could say like she's crazy, why she doesn't stop. Like this crazy project I'm doing now is I'm painting my own tarot cards. Can you imagine painting 78 or 80 tarot cards? No, but I can, I'm not a believer that much, but I just love the art aspect, and I just like the sentimental stuff. One thing I did this summer, I decided to live romantically and a little bit magically. So I tried to incorporate magical things in my life. And that was like one thing. If I can paint every Sunday or whatever day I'm painting now, then I think I need a project. So I took like a bigger project, which is ridiculous. I think I'll finish it, but who knows, maybe in 3 months' time. But we're 2 cards down. So yeah, these are my first 2 cards. Tarot cards have some themes usually, so I chose myself a theme myself. So genius, right? So boring. But I actually chose myself because I was kind of like, I'm not, the thing with me is like, I'm not like some crazy painter or drawer. I've never been. I just like to draw sometimes. I also draw in Krita sometimes, this online stuff. And that's how I also like to express myself. It's the moment when my brain is like silent. That's why I love painting, drawing, and yeah, that's like my side passion. I want to do more things when it comes to drawing. If you know, you know. There's also an option of always taking a break when you're feeling a certain way that we forget. We think like we need to grind. If you're already like made a plan, if you're like me, you're just doing then it's like we're gonna get there this part. But yeah, if you're already doing everything, maybe you need a little break sometimes, and it can be a month break. I mean, and then you feel like, oh, but I want to do music. That's exactly how it works. That's why you needed a break. Now you get more inspiration, and now you have more to tell, and that's what it is. So I like to actually do activities with my loved ones, or cook together. I usually don't like cooking, but I do like cooking from scratch with my boyfriend, and that's just such a calming thing to do. And when once you finish it, you're like, oh my god, what we did our own pasta, man. Like, this is so cool. This is really cool. I didn't know you can do that. Now I know. Or go on a walk, because sometimes we sit in our little studio space or a little craft space, and maybe we go out once a week. If you work also at home, if you're remote working, or if you're working outside, maybe do something different once in a while. And maybe it includes snow people, maybe it includes you walking in a forest. It can be such small things, and that's why I feel like that is also important thing to remind yourself. You can always take a break, and break is not a bad thing. I feel really bad taking breaks, I'm really bad at it, but I do have come more calm about it. Definitely, I used to be like full panic mode. Not panic mode, but more of like, oh my god, I didn't. Then I felt guilty and I cried because I felt guilty I didn't do anything. Come on, man, this is not good. If you ever been like that, or if you are like that, then it's time to kind of like give yourself grace and start to build the self. Okay, start to build the love within yourself. I want to move on to the next point. Oftentimes we burn out because we already have lack of clarity, and that's what it really is. If you have also a lot of choices like we now have, we have many possibilities what we can do. We never knew so much. We never knew that there's possibility to just travel. We never knew about it until we see it in front of us, in our phones, in our computers. It's everything is so accessible that we could do anything, but we don't kind of know at some point what to do. That's literally me. I'm doing so many things. I kind of want to pick one thing. But okay, one thing for sure. I love music. but um but what I'm trying to say is more of that when there's so much choices, then we choose nothing, and that also numbs us to do nothing. And that's pretty much what happens. So I heard this cool example about it actually. I don't know what podcast, maybe it was Mel Robbins' podcast or somewhere, but they had like this really cool story that if you go in a shop and there's all of those are different milks. It's only a milk shop. There's like thousands of different milk sorts. You either buy something you already know because you don't want to go and choose whatever is there, or you're not gonna buy a milk, because there's just too much choice. You're kind of fatigued to make a choice. That's why it's easier to make a choice when we have a plan or we have an intention. And intentions and plans can always change, right? It doesn't mean it's fixed, and it doesn't mean I'm only fixed to that, but it means I have a direction, and it helps my mind, it helps my spirit to not think too much. That's it. That's why becoming clear what is your audience, like a rough audience sketch. I have like three. I made also like, in business they make like this I can't even say. In business they make like these characters, and they write like their fears, their stuff, and then they start to sell to those people. That's how it is, okay? We are all targeted, even I am. But that's how it works. It's not like oh, you're niching down. It's more of like you're giving yourself direction. You're making things easier. That's why it's easier to make videos for you, because that's why it's easy to think of something, because I already prepped. I have like, I don't know, I have a folder. I don't know if I should show you, but I have see show my secret folder of stuff. But yeah, I could show you, but yeah, so pretty much what I do when I want to do ideas. So I made like an audience page, everything, and I literally sketch everything out, like just to know, to be more clear what I can do also in my social media, because I really want to focus on people who struggled like me and who felt alone and never had a voice. I really want to reach those people most likely, because I never had it, and I really wish I known some things, and that's why I do such things and such videos. And I want to create also YouTube videos that are like more personal, that someone can actually follow something. That's important to me, because I feel like I don't see it. I don't see that someone is documenting their journey like that. So I am being in that space, and I hope you like it. I hope you like my journey, and I hope you want to come along with me. And there's this quote I wrote down in my notes: no building was built without actual plan. So, if we want to build a big building, we want to actually reach, we have a goal, and we actually, first you need a goal, okay? I think I made a YouTube video about it. Not sure. If I have, I'm gonna link it down below. Which I feel like I did. Yeah, it was about like kind of becoming clear what you want. We need to set our goals, and I have also made my year goals. I also make my monthly goals. So you make a year goal, and then you have to do the monthly goals, and then you try to schedule the steps throughout the week, each week, what you need to do to get to the goal. And I use Notion, by the way. I don't know, I really like the space. It's comfortable, it's cute. I'm all about the cuteness and comfortability. I used to write everything down, but now I find it a lot easier for myself because then I have it in front of me, I can open it, and it's easy to sort everything and have like a review of everything. My journals are a lot more personal, so that's why I like to keep it that way. But okay, I can show you. Like you can see, this I have all of these categories in here. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, projects and things I've stopped or I'm trying to do, like long-term goals. And this is like I made a separate thing for YouTube content summer 25. I have few ideas here. I change it every week because I don't know. I had like the month planning thing, and then I'm doing like weekly. I don't know. I just find it better for me, and that's why I say like test something out. I tested the month thing. It was so crazy to me that I was always filming, scripting, editing. I was always doing that. So now I'm kind of like finding in a middle ground. I'm trying to make my social media and my videos in social media a little better and also make them easier. Sometimes I'm making it too hard for myself. I don't have a team yet. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed. Yeah, so you can see this is my talking ideas. This is like notes after a YouTube video. I sometimes write something. I not really don't do it. I did it for my first videos when I was awkward and I was cringing a lot. I have repeated words. But one thing I'm doing actually, I'm watching now videos about how to speak better, concisely. Still not there, I talk a lot, but I don't talk that much, okay? I talk the things that matter, and I wanna give my journey and my knowledge to you. So take it. So a lot of things I'm planning, and once I have idea, also I have Notion in my phone, so I put the ideas there too below here. And there's a lot of things, and I feel like that's what helps me. So I have like a content of ideas that I can use, and that helps me to not stop myself from creating because I already have not overthink it. I don't need to overthink it. I have a full ideas there. I actually took it from someone who shared how they schedule in YouTube. Oh my god, I'm so bad at remembering who I did, but I didn't plan to show it. But I was like, maybe it's nice to share you what I do a little bit. I have actually shared you this, but weekly I just plan stuff. This is my this week one. I film usually week ahead, something like that. And yeah, you can see like Mondays I do this, then I have like a full stuff I want to do. This week plan is I want to do a notebook cover and order myself. I want to paint it on digitally this time. I want to paint on a notebook and then I want to print it, and then I'm gonna have my new notebook for a few years. So that's something I want to order for myself. I think I'm gonna put it also in the shop if someone wants. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do every week. If I don't have time to plan on Friday or Sunday, I do it on Monday when my video is downloading. Just so you know, I have support and I have built support system. My support is my boyfriend. I'm really lucky with that, definitely, because I can't imagine like working and doing everything at the same time because that takes a lot of, but it's possible and I believe it. So if you're in this circumstance, see if you can maybe have some time or use your weekends. I know it sucks, but it's kind of like how important the dream is something you need to figure out yourself. Before we move on to the next category or next thing I really want to talk to you about is what I also learned. It's a new thing for me. It's not really new, but it's kind of new. It's like reevaluate the plan. That's why I said you can always come back, but that's something what we don't do. Sometimes we maybe planned month, I don't know, 6 months, I don't know if you're that type of person, but maybe when you get into it, like it is a lot easier to plan ahead, to plan like a lot ahead and put a plan there, but the execution is always the hardest part. And that's why comes re-evaluation really important. You can see me all the time talking about, oh, let's look at my 9th month progress, let's look at this. And while I thought, oh, it's so ridiculous, when I did that, I was like, whoa, such clarity. And recently I did also, from my another video, I did this reflection and I was like, oh my god, I really needed it. I have been implementing this 10-minute thing and I'm gonna try to make a challenge with it. Maybe I'm thinking I'm gonna think about it if I should film myself, because every day I don't do makeup, I look like a little little potato head, but I love to be potato. Why do I say potato? Because I'm influenced by every potato. Think of it as just like in work, they take things seriously, they reevaluate you even as a worker, they reevaluate it if you're on board. And I feel like that's why this reevaluation comes in, when you look, okay, these actions what I made over this month, have they actually worked? It's so hard. Have they actually worked what I've done? Maybe I can implement something different. And I feel like that's the win. Execution is the best win, but when you can come and take it execution and look at it actually in the face and be like, okay, Victoria, what actually is not serving you? And that's when you realize, oh, I wake up and scroll straight away. That's something I used to do. That's what I stopped. I was like, even if I open my phone, I'm like, whoosh, you know? I have still done it sometimes when my sister is writing or my boyfriend is writing or I see some interesting things. It's usually my close people that get me more in my phone, messenger. I talk there usually with them, and it's like funny to see like how sometimes I just I start reading and talking with them, but then I don't. When I see myself immediately going to Instagram or anywhere, automatic I'm like, oh, flip the phone, throw it, make some weird gesture to like blah, whatever, do some weird gesture, and then go brush your teeth and face and take a deep breath, high five yourself or dance a little, and then move on and do your thing. So that's why reevaluation is also really great. The thing is not to be perfect, and I feel like that's what helps me all the time, is realizing that I am noob, realizing that I'm not that great because I'm learning myself, and that might take time because I'm also a person who likes to do so many other things. And when it comes to technical things, for me it's a little bit hard. Don't think about being perfect, just stay in your lane, continue reevaluate, continue believing in yourself, because that's your life. I always talk about it, it's your life. How else you gonna live it? You're gonna either live knowing that you never did anything, or you're gonna live with knowing that, hey, I tried, I did everything that I thought was possible for me. Because through this journey, what I am, I always learn something. I always like become that, oh, okay, maybe I was wrong about it. And that also helps me to respect my younger self. I respect myself who decided to do that dream, who decided to do, because believe me, my visions and dreams have changed, but not drastically, but they have changed in a little detailed the little detail, because I'm realizing more about my personality in the process, and that's what it is. Your heart and your mind chose this passion or whatever you want to do for a reason, for you to find something within yourself, even if it's that. You have to really remind yourself with your real motivation. It is your younger self. It's really believing in it, and it's also sometimes showing up, because my purpose is also other people. That's how I function. If I feel like I am doing something good and I feel like I'm giving also to the world, then I feel like I am living my purpose, and it kind of confirms me that this video what I'm making now, even if I'm not maybe not the best guru in the world, but I feel like I'm just in a verge of learning and building stuff, and I just want to take people along with me. I'm still worthy of telling my side of story because I'm also a human. Everyone is human, and that's why I say we're not perfect, but we're human, and that's what makes us connect with other humans, and I think that's really beautiful. That's something I always wanted to hear someone said to me, but no one said, and I started to say to myself, Victoria, I believe in you. I believe whatever you want to do is possible. I literally started to say to myself, let it be delusional thing to do as a person living in a small country or whatever. Let it be crazy to some people, but I do it anyways because it's my life, and some people don't understand what I'm doing, and that's fine by me. You know, I don't need to prove myself to anyone. I just want to show up to myself. And I feel like that's the hardest thing to shift inside, but it's a worth thing to heal and find the peace within that hey, I'm okay with myself. I'm not completely happy, but I'm okay. And I feel like you don't have to be happy with yourself. You can be okay too. You can hate yourself too, but just so you know, you need if you want to live your life, you gotta start believing in yourself. And I really want that for you too, that you can look back like I did ridiculous YouTube videos, you know. Whatever you do is I want you to look back and be like, wow, but I actually did it. I mean, I actually did it. Even when odds were against us, I still did it. And who knows where it's gonna take you? You don't know that. Maybe thanks to this, you have some experiences. It's gonna give you some career opportunity you would never thought of. And that's the thing. You're opening yourself to possibilities, opening yourself to different possibilities in your life because you chose it. So that's the power you have. I hope this was valuable for you and you keep on following me and we can grow together because that's something I really want to do. I want to see us finish my album so I can take you along with me, which I already do. And I'm alongside writing a book. I also want to share different sides of me that usually people don't share, like my art, like my thoughts, and that these are the series, like whatever series, but these are the things I want to share with you. I don't know, this video is kind of like bloom, 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 but I feel like it's perfect because it's like kind of personal talk with Victoria and her table. If you've been feeling stuck and stuff, know that it's part of the journey and your art is already enough. Whatever you choose is right for you when you feel like it's right for you. If you know it's right for you, believe in it. Just, I want to give you a little bit hope. You know, that's what it is. People say hope is for dying. I say hope is for believing because hope is something that kept with me always whenever I felt like I want to give up, whenever I feel like I don't want to live, that was a long time ago. But but that's a real thing. That's a real struggle. That's a real question we ask ourselves. Keep on going. You don't have to be the best in the world, but you can become it. The most important thing, you're on it. You're on the journey of something that shows you believe in yourself. That's the truest self-love and the love you can give to yourself and others. I hope this video was really valuable. If you liked it, then last time I had such a crazy session. Actually, I made a drill bit because I was spinning a wheel. I had a drill bit. I had no idea what drill bit is, and we did a drill bit, and it was a crazy song with falsetto singing. So if you want to see that video, go check it out. It was really, really fun. And I want to thank you everyone for watching. I believe in you, and see you next Monday with another music session. Bye bye.